you've obviously noticed fairly aggressive on the start-stop. In my time driving it around, I feel like I notice the transmission. I notice when it turns on and off. I notice a lot. It doesn't feel smooth to me in how it operates. It feels like it's constantly trying to figure it out. Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
And right there is Tucker.
Yep, that's me. Blah, 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 blah.
All right, and we are in the little Range Rover and the Range Rover Evoque. And in this video, we'll tell you how this subcompact luxury crossover from a heritage British brand fits our family of three here in East Texas. Stay tuned. All right, Holly, we're in luxury here in this Range Rover Evoque. As per usual, why don't we start outside and get your thoughts on the look of it, and we'll move inside and we'll talk the rest. What do you think of the styling of this little Range Rover Evoque?
Well, honestly, it's a little bit different than I was expecting it to.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was expecting it to be a little bit more boxier, but it's not a boxy style. It's more like a doodlebug.
Okay.
A roly-poly.
Well, yes, it does borrow heavily from some of its larger siblings, the Velar mid-size crossover and the Range Rover Sport, but not the Range Rover, which is what you're thinking of, the traditional boxy design.
Overall, I like it. I don't think it's as much of a presence on the road as some of the other ones.
Okay.
And it kind of goes like, and then squares on either end.
Yeah. It's got some fun design elements to it, though, that you don't really see in other vehicles, like the front wheel well arches cut into the hood line to give you kind of a different
contrast.
Look. Yeah.
Which is nice. And then you've got the doors, handles that slide in to make a sleek, aerodynamic.
Yeah. Feels very sleek and minimalistic on the exterior design.
You know, I just actually noticed something back here.
What?
There are speakers right in the doors.
You're right. I have them too. All right. So I used the word minimalistic on the exterior design. Would you say it also applies in here?
Yes.
I feel like I'm in an Apple store in here.
Yes.
Like
that's interesting, but yes.
There ain't much.
There's not much. There is a two-toned color, which I like. But I'm not in love with this texture.
Yeah?
It seems a little cheap.
Okay.
And I think that is highlighted by the fact that there's nothing else in here.
Yeah.
That makes it look a little bit.
I mean, there's some gloss black, which we love.
No.
Here on the channel.
We don't love it.
And then, like, everything is through the touch screen
buttons. Here. No buttons.
It didn't quite take the Tesla approach. I mean, there are some stalks here that you can adjust some things. There's some buttons on the steering wheel to adjust some things, but 99%. It
doesn't look like you've got volume control.
Yes, right.
This is a volume. Okay.
But yeah, most everything is controlled here in the screen.
You got your heated steering wheel button here. But do you have heated seats?
Yes, 3-stage.
Do you have ventilated seats?
Heated seats, no ventilated seats, but 3-stage heated seats. You have some quick access shortcuts here, or you can go into the climate controls, and there are your 3-stage heating. Dual zone.
I mean, if you have to swipe to two different screens, I don't think that's easy to get to.
Yes. And then I like the overall, like the tile layout here. There's a bunch of different stuff we can talk about. You're gonna get a driving score, by the way. But a lot of interesting stuff here, leaning into its off-road heritage and such.
How customizable is this screen?
You can customize what vertical tiles are here, and that takes you down into further menus. You can also go into all of the menus here. So again, you can do your seats, front and rear, seat heat and whatnot, because this does have 4 heated seats in it. Going back there, valet mode, you can get your vehicle dimensions, so you know your approach and departure angle, which I know you are dying.
I was dying to know. Dying to know.
But there's a lot of stuff in here, but as far as how customizable it is, you get to pick what things show up to answer that question.
The steering wheel. It doesn't go down any lower than this.
Yeah.
It doesn't go back further any
No.
more than this.
So it is
need it
tilt
lower.
telescoping. It is power tilt telescoping, but not ultimately adjustable to your liking.
No.
Okay. The seats, multi-way, power adjustable. Even over here, you have 3-person memory over there. I've got lumbar adjustments, which passengers don't normally get.
It's minimalistic.
Very, very.
Well, until you get to the screen.
Yeah, and then everything
Is
is
there.
there. And fingerprints.
And
But-
fingerprints.
Wireless Apple CarPlay.
You know
and
how I
Android
feel
Auto.
about tech.
Yes,
This is going to screw up on me.
potentially. But yes.
Not potentially. It will.
Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I am plugged in, but yeah, there are your shortcuts.
Didn't
You
have
found
any
it.
problem finding that.
It does have engine start stop, which we'll get to when we get to the driving portion. But while we're still talking interior, what are your thoughts on storage places in here? Because
There's not a lot. There, you have a little thing in the door,
Mhm.
which I guess that's kind of bigger than I thought it was once I stuck my head down there. But
and it's
some-
rubber lined.
it is rubber lined. But the storage goes like way back into the door.
Oh,
So you're losing
Yeah.
stuff in there,
oh yeah,
guaranteed.
for sure.
And then this looks like it would be
Yeah.
a spot to hold stuff, which I guess it does have a little
Yep.
kind of cubby right here,
Let's
but
see.
it's also your wireless charger.
And it's hard plastic, so it's scratchy. So hard
It's
plastic on hard plastic.
But then you also have a lip right here.
Yeah.
So you're losing stuff in here too, because you're going to put something in there and then you're going to forget it's there and not be able to see it.
Yeah.
In the black hole.
Yeah.
And the lip that hides it.
Gear selector, not a lot going on around it.
No.
No.
That's it.
But you were talking center console. It has 2 single opening lids, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I like it, Holly?
Because you don't have to move your arm when I'm digging in there.
Yeah.
And here's a little spoiler over on the other car we have.
Oh yeah.
That, well, the center console can open on both sides.
You're right.
Mm.
A little trick to the other car we have. But Tucker, while we're talking to you, how much space do you have back there in the back
Not
seat?
very much.
Yeah, it's a little tight on space. And when we were putting your bicycle in the back, how much space was back there in the way back?
A lot.
Was it? Ooh, it was a little tight, don't you think?
Was it tight for your bicycle?
It just fit his bike and not much else. But Tucker, what do you say we talk about something else? What do you think? What do we talk about now? Putting in...
I got it.
Okay.
Putting in my child safety seat.
Yep. So we'll put in your child safety seat and then we'll show them the storage in the way back. Say hello to my new camera setup for doing car seat installs. Let me know down in the comments whether you prefer this or a stationary camera from the side. But as we approach the back seat of the vehicle, before I bring in Tucker's child safety seat, I do want to show you what it's like for me at 5'10" to sit behind myself. I've got enough room back here. There's a cutout here in the back of the seat. My feet do fit nicely under the seat, but yeah, it's definitely a subcompact crossover, and well, there's a limited amount of space back here. We do get some nice amenities. We get some HVAC vents. We get 3-stage heated seats. We get some USB-C power ports with a cigarette lighter style plug down here as well, which is nice. A fairly substantial center tunnel here for the drivetrain for the 4-wheel drive system. So if somebody rides back here, they better be small or you better be comfortable touching knees and legs. Otherwise though, it is a fairly compact rear seat. We do get some storage here in the doors and a repeat of all the same materials in the doors back here that we do up front. No sunshades in the window or on the doors themselves. And you can see we do get a nice view of the skylight up above us when we take a look up. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop out now. And I do want to show you, Tucker brought this up. He does really like this handle here, and that does eliminate some of your storage capabilities. You could probably set a phone here, but just be careful it doesn't slide out. But let's bring in his Graco Extend-A-Fit child safety seat. This is the same child safety seat he has been riding in since he was rearward facing, and we're going to go ahead and put it in its rear facing position. And you can see here, well, it does a fairly good job of making the most of the space of a subcompact vehicle, but I am going to need to move this front seat forward just a bit to get that seat really to settle down into place. And now, yes, I am kind of cutting into my overall comfort space up front here. And yeah, my knees are in the glove box at 5'10". But the good news is kids do not ride in rear-facing car seats for very long. So this is not going to be a long-term problem if you do buy this vehicle. I do feel like the Evoque is a starting point into the Range Rover brand, but I think it's more for maybe young college students or maybe first-time car buyers, not necessarily young families. We'll go ahead and drop that top tether or stick it back behind the headrest there, but I do want to talk about a lower latch situation here. We do have these hard plastic covers over the lower latches that I typically put in the center console because we only have these vehicles for a week at a time. But what do you do if you own a vehicle with these? Do you lose them over the course of the vehicle's life, or do you also find a place to keep them safely and neatly? Go ahead and put them up there for right now. You saw I had a little bit of an issue getting that one latch to secure, but that one was very easy. I still have plenty of room to get around inside and snug this down fairly easily from the side. These seats do not slide or move or anything. They are actually 40-20-40 split. And I'll go ahead and show you right here. There is a button to fold down the center section all by itself. It does travel with the passenger side over there. We do have a fold down armrest with a couple of cup holders. But now that we've got his car seat in, we'll go ahead and open the rear hatch here, which is a power opening rear hatch. And you can see we've got this hard parcel shelf, which is not my favorite. I wish we had something flexible or a roller shade or something. This just never really says premium to me, and I always lament it, and it is going to be a problem as we try and get that top tether attached. I'm actually gonna most likely take this off completely, which you've got a couple of strings there. You give it a nice tug and it now comes out, which makes installing that child seat much easier. Tighten that top tether down. You can see we are going to be doing some potential damage to the seat long term, leaving a seat secured here for very long. But then again, you've got that 40-20-40 split rear seat, and it is a short enough reach that I can expand the cargo capacity from back here just fine. I've got a decent amount of space here. I've got this little cubby here with the net to secure some additional items. I've got this elastic strap here for some taller items. And I do have some power back here if I want it. I also have a couple of bag hooks if I'm doing a grocery shop and I don't want stuff rolling around, apples flying everywhere. So it's a decent amount of storage space in what amounts to a very subcompact crossover from Range Rover. And then we'll go ahead and put our top shelf, our parcel shelf back into place. And right up here, just above my head, we do have a nice wide opening, but that power button works immediately to close that rear hatch down. All right, Holly, it's kind of cramped on the inside. We had a Jeep Cherokee for the longest that you always told me, rightly so, that it was a little small for us and our needs and what we wanted. to bring this to American audiences, this would compete with the Jeep Compass, which is even smaller, which we had one. But I would say if the Jeep Compass had a British relative, this would be it. It's tight. It's not very roomy. Your thoughts on how it has been driving it around?
It's been nice driving it around. I haven't had any problems. The visibility is not great.
Okay. How so?
Well, the back window is pretty small,
But
but you do have the
we have the
But
camera back
this
there.
is why I don't like it, because all you see is the one car
Behind it.
on your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like to see around me more. And there are windows that go all the way down, but it just feels like everywhere it's a little bit obstructed. Like that little one back there is obstructed by Tucker's car seat. You know, this one is obstructed by your seat a little bit. I don't know. It's not great.
Very tight dimensions in here.
Mm-hmm.
And you already found the engine start-stop defeat button so that the engine isn't turning off every time we come to a stoplight. So you've obviously noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly aggressive on the start-stop.
Mm-hmm.
In my time driving it around, I feel like I notice the transmission. I notice when it turns on and off. I notice a lot. It doesn't feel smooth to me in how it operates. It feels like it's constantly trying to figure it out. Are you getting that same vibe?
As you drive it?
Yeah. Like it's like, oh, you want to be in this gear. Oh, okay. Like,
well, it's hard for me to tell if it's me or the car. Sometimes.
Fair enough. But how's the steering been? Has it felt heavy or
I
light?
would say it leans on the light side,
Okay.
the loose side.
But, I mean, it is
I don't know.
tidy, and we do have, talking about visibility, great cameras all the way around this.
Yeah.
Which we can actually even see a digital version of our vehicle if we want. There's even an off-road version where we can see through the front if we needed, and that's where they put a shortcut to downhill descent control, which is kind of cool. So they're leaning into their off-road heritage with the cameras, but visibility's in this one. Now that we're turning on the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler, Texas, Tucker, how's your wobbly head back there?
It's a little wobbly.
Here comes the big one.
Hear it more than you feel it.
But you kind of hear it and feel it.
You kind of hear it and you feel it.
It's a little on the firm side. What are your thoughts, Holly?
A little on the firm side.
Yeah. It's not plush. Not plush.
It's not the roughest ride
No.
we've had, but no, I mean, I feel like just then when I slowed down, I felt every single brick.
Yeah. You definitely feel the surface underneath you. That's for sure.
I was expecting a lot more out of this car.
Really?
Unfortunately, yes.
And why so? Just the
'Cause
name,
the name.
the heritage of the brand.
The heritage of the brand. I was expecting it to be a big boxy one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, this
Which,
is...
to be fair, you just said Range Rover, and I did not ask any further details on what kind it was. So that disappointment is on me.
And this is the entry to the brand. So typically you're going to have a younger buyer than the brand average. You're in marketing, you know. This is like the gateway drug to the rest of the brand. It gets you in.
It gets you in. It makes you realize you want the step up.
And as we've already
more
mentioned,
space.
it borrows heavily from bigger vehicles in the lineup styling. So, like, it's there. It shows you what could be yours if you paid a little bit more. But, I mean, it's nice. Enough.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see what the price is.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling that I'd probably choose something more affordable. Is it
Perhaps.
unaffordable?
So this is a 2025 model. It's the Dynamic SE, is what the way they describe it here. 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 246 horsepower. It is peppy when you step on it. 269 pound-feet of torque, 9-speed automatic transmission. The EPA rates it at 20 city, 27 highway, 22 combined. We're getting 16, but that's not fair because I've taken all my pictures and I've left it idling a bunch. My solo review will have a better representation of what this is capable of. But Holly, fire away. What do you think the price is on this one? As we bumble over the brick streets.
53.
Is she
Higher.
Yeah.
I need to go higher?
Yes, you do.
Oh, a lot higher? 57.
Getting close.
Still higher.
59.
Still higher.
Oh, 62.
What is
Oh.
it, T-Man?
61.765.
$61,675 as this one is equipped.
What was that?
I was wondering if it was ever going to come into play here. So that is...
We're going. Hold on to your butts.
That is the traffic sign recognition audible warning that apparently you were going higher than the posted speed limit.
I would never.
You're currently going 3 over.
I would never.
I turned that on in the settings here through the driver assistance stuff.
And now you can't turn it off?
I've turned it off, but it's still on. So I don't know what's going on. But
Maybe
it
you
clearly
haven't.
is not. No, it asks visual and audio, or just visual, or nothing. And I've got it on just visual, but it still gives you, anytime you pass a speed limit sign that is different, you get a
Let's see. Didn't
Well,
get one that time.
Well, that time it
Oh,
been
you mean
changed.
like a different.
Yeah.
Window
Speed.
sticker.
Interesting.
But this does have some things that we like. Head-up display,
Head-up display.
heated seats, memory seats.
Does it have ventilated?
No, it does not have ventilated seats.
62,000 and it doesn't have ventilated seats.
To be fair, we've had more expensive cars from Mercedes-Benz.
Tis true, and I'm
That didn't-
balked at
61.
that too.
This is true. This is true. This is true. So,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There are other options.
I feel like there are some missed opportunities. There could be a pass-through here or something. The glove box is a little on the light side, but look, it is felt lined.
It
So,
is felt like.
it's something I always comment on and lament. So, so suffice it to say, she's unimpressed. Is she unimpressed?
That don't impress me.
Oh boy, do we have the rights? Shania, don't come after us.
I just think there are other options, and if you're spending that much money. But I mean, to be fair, if you're wanting a Range Rover and you're wanting to get into that family line of cars, then maybe this is the one.
Maybe this is the gateway.
Maybe this is the gateway you've been looking for. I do not, and well, you do. I do not subscribe too much to name brands. I'd rather have just a car that I really like. This ain't it.
All right. And on that note, if you want to see some more stuff from her, some behind the scenes stuff, keep up with what she is doing, go find her on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. You can find all things GT Garage Talk at GT Garage Talk, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it, all at GT Garage Talk. Or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com where you'll find links to everything that we do. And Tucker, you have something special that you've been working on lately. What is that?
Tucker's Talk.
Tucker has his very own YouTube channel where he talks about cars, he talks about toys, he talks about animals. Go give him a subscribe at Tucker's Talk. I'll put that information in the video description as well. But as for us from the 2025 Range Rover Evoque, until next time, Gearheads.
Bye.